Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk, where we watch creepy videos and make up funny stories. I've got my coffee. Let's watch some stuff.
You won't believe what these urban explorers caught on camera. Watch closely.
Wait, wait, wait! What the?
That, my friends, is why you don't explore abandoned places.
Yeah, that didn't look set up at all now, did it? All right, let's move on to our mad takes. If you're new here, welcome. We do mad takes in between videos. And if you'd like to follow along, just go to madtakes.com. There's a link in the description below. Today we are on Letter from Camp, which is number 2 on page 1. And there's quite a few words required for this particular story. So our first word is a relative, and there was no mention of like mom, dad, child, whatever in this last one. So what I do is I put ghost child. And then next we have adjective, and the only adjective I heard there was abandoned. So yeah, moving right along.
The taller you go up, the more energy that is present. And if you think about this, after 15 feet, you can light up a small light bulb. So if you think about every single street light that's out on the streets right now, those can run for free just by being 15 feet and above. So the question is why are we paying for any of these things? In reality, you can see that a lot of these things are all free.
I mean, yeah, when you look at cables and stuff, it always goes under the ground and submarine. I mean, internet cables and communication cables all go under the submarine. But why have we all these electronic pylons, from a sort of energy, what do you call it? Energy plant, and all these. I think they're just plucking free energy out of the ether.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's what's happening because electricity is supposed to be the vibration. That's what electricity is supposed to be. It's a very high vibration. 60 hertz running back and forth between your house, or by you, 220 hertz running back and forth by, with your house. So you just have this very high vibration going back and forth. But if you could tap into that vibration of the earth, then yes, you could get free energy.
The ether cannot be monetized, and that is why we do not pull energy from the ether. Nobody gets free energy. Nope. All right, so we pulled small and high out of there, 2 adjectives, moving right along. Hey, thanks for joining me for today's coffee talk. I know it's a little silly, but that's the point. If you're having a good time, I hope you'd consider hitting that subscribe button and coming back to see me tomorrow, because I'm making a new video every day. Let's watch some more stuff.
I was introduced to Project Skybeam by Lieutenant General Andrew Garris. I was then led down a corridor and into a large hangar where a stealth bomber hovered only 20 feet above me. I stood there confused. Then Garris looked over at me and smiled, then asked if I was certain of what I was seeing. I replied, of course. What else could it be? I was then shocked to find out that this wasn't a real craft. It was a projected hologram. Since the early 1950s, scientists have been developing holographic technology, and over the years improved it to a state that we can only imagine. As I stood there staring at the bomber, which looked so absolutely real and solid that I could reach up and touch it, I contemplated the possibilities. What if this projection was 1,000 feet up in the sky? How would anyone know that that was an illusion? The Phoenix Lights craft, witnessed by 10,000 people, was the first grand-scale skybeam test upon the public. It succeeded beyond expectations. In October 1938, Orson Welles unleashed his War of the Worlds radio broadcast to the American public. It was so realistically portrayed, vast portions of the population went into panic. Terrified citizens scrambled to evacuate their cities in droves. America had been easily tricked by very simple means. To amplify this response, those who are truly in power of not only our country, but all the countries on the planet, and who are the true purveyors of the depopulation process, have formulated the final stage of their sinister plan. In the year 2024, a global event will alter the course of mankind's future. The world will stand witness to a massive alien invasion. Thousands of projected holographic alien warships will blanket the skies, sending people into a global panic. Real military crafts within the holograms will inflict actual damage to the surrounding areas to sell the gimmick. And as a result of the ensuing human chaos, a one-world government will immediately form without any resistance from the people. They will be the new world order. Once this happens, we as a people will be doomed to enslavement and accelerated depopulation. With that said, the only hope for human salvation is to acquire and spread the knowledge of these activities and agendas. Resist, retaliate, then conquer this imposing enemy. The time is now, as humanity is rapidly approaching its final days.
I know the words on the screen said flat earth, and I thought it was going to have something to do with flat earth. I thought they were going to link the two, but I'm glad we talked about the fake alien invasion, because a few days ago I was wondering when it was going to be. I'm not very well versed on current conspiracy theories, and it's good to know that it's going to be this year. So looking forward to that. So we pulled name of a person in the room, Lieutenant Andrew Garris, and two more adjectives, projected and ensuing.
Remember the incident of 2016? Those photographs revealed an unusual cloud formation and electrical activity above the CERN facility. The strange clouds sparked a media frenzy regarding portals in the sky. Now, the LHC has found small black holes when smashing particles, which could suggest parallel universes and extra dimensions. What we previously saw could turn into a storm now that the CERN is even more powerful than before. Scientists also warned us about the God particle. Hawking issued a stern warning. In his famous book, Starmus, the scientist claimed that the particle could one day be responsible for the destruction of the known universe. He wrote, "The Higgs potential has the worrisome feature that it might become mega-stable at energies above 100 billion giga-electron volts. About the destruction is the formation of small black holes that would expand and eventually decompose the world from within." Despite CERN scientists' assurances that these black holes would not destroy the universe, astronomer Sir Martin Rees agrees with Hawking that they could open a Pandora's box, unleashing high-energy, strange matter that is extremely unstable and causing a catastrophic vacuum decay that would cause time and space itself to collapse. Hawking warned that this could happen at any time, and we wouldn't see it coming. Although such a catastrophe is unlikely in the near future, Hawking believes the risks of the Higgs becoming destabilized at high energy is too large to ignore.
There's so many theories with this Hadron Collider at the middle of them, and I still got my money on micro black holes. It's not a lot of money, but it's there. All right, we only pulled verb ending in ed, so revealed, because the next one is a body part, and I didn't hear any body parts in that one. Let's see what the next one has to hold. Well, aside from being really super cool, that video was not very helpful. How do you think they did that? Do you think it was real? It was really cool looking, I know that.
I was going out with these urban explorers underneath London, and after we went into those sewer systems, then we got into electricity tunnels, then we started getting into bunkers, and then we started getting into what are called deep level systems.
How easy was it to get into those?
It took us years. It took us years. There was quite a lot of research. But I mean, at some point we got into what are called the BT deep level tunnels, British Telecommunications, and we were like inside the telecommunications trunk for all of the United Kingdom. And at this point, we're like 120 feet underground. We were walking through this tunnel about 100 feet underground, and one of the explorers I was with is like, "There's a manhole above us." I was like, "What do you mean there's a manhole above us? We're in the deepest level right now." and we pop this manhole and a camera swivels, and stares at us like, oh God, and then we realized we were into some critical.
Honestly, I have no idea what that is about. It's probably about their surveillance system, because England, they have CCTV everywhere, right? So we pulled a body part out of there finally. We cheated on it a little bit. He said feet. I put foot because we're getting a little desperate. And we're going to have to pull several from the next one, but let's go.
Now, there is a bit of a catch. It's less of a serious religion and more so a social movement designed to critique the teaching of intelligent design and creationism in public schools. It all began after the church's founder wrote an open letter to a school board in Kansas, arguing that if they taught established religious alternatives, they should also teach Pastafarianism. Despite its humorous beginnings, Pastafarianism has gained some attention, and some members have engaged in legal battles to have it recognized as an official religion in certain contexts. Overall, however, it remains a lighthearted and playful commentary on the intersection of religion, education, and freedom of expression.
May you be touched by his noodly appendage. All right, we've got teaching, alternatives, and religion.
I have concluded in my 30 years of research that the human race is indeed a hybrid race. The evidence is literally overwhelming. And if you dig into it and you study it and you evaluate it seriously, you reach the same conclusions. Every major religious philosophy in our history, on every part of this planet, whether it's in Europe, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's Hinduism, every major human religious endeavor has told the basic same story. The human race is a hybrid race. We have been created here. We were seeded here. And we have been genetically manipulated here from the very beginning of our recorded history. And that genetic manipulation has never ceased. It is still going on, as Cecilia likes to say, even as we speak. So, I reached that conclusion, and I will not argue with anybody about it. I simply say to you, look at the evidence. Apparently, this seems to be what has happened. Several 100,000 years ago, an intelligent race from somewhere else out there came by the planet, knew of the planet, stopped at the planet, and found a developing form of life here. Now, there are theories that the original seeding itself was done by an intelligent race from other places. But some of the theories have stated that this advanced intelligence was on an excursion, a trip, and they stopped off here and found a developing form of life and decided to manipulate that developing form of life into a higher form. And they've been involved in that off and on, but continually, for at least 100,000 years. When I studied anthropology some years ago, I always wondered why poor old Neanderthal suddenly disappeared in terms of time, a few centuries. And this new form, completely new form, which we call Cro-Magnon, appeared. What happened to poor old Neanderthal? Who is Cro-Magnon? We'll look around the room, you'll see Cro-Magnon here right today. But in terms of geology, in terms of anthropology, in terms of evolutionary theory, none of that seemed to make a lot of sense. You don't have evolution working that fast. Then there were other little curious things taking place. Why?
I do like this theory. I think it's interesting. I like how he mentioned how he went from Neanderthal to Cro-Magnon man without anything in between. But I do recall Lucy was considered to be the missing link, like in between the two transitions. But it's still, there's nothing really in between those. It just kind of went from boom, boom, boom. Kind of gives some validity to what he's saying. Food for thought. All right, so we did a few out of there. We got seriously, argue, manipulate, and Neanderthal.
Where do we get the cobalt to make the batteries, and what do we do with them?
So, like, your argument is about this mining argument, right? Like,
no, I'm asking a question, dude. Like, where do we get it from?
It's a straw man because you're just...
Answer the question.
No, I am answering question. So you're arguing about this
I've asked a
renewable
question.
energy...
I'm not making an argument. You can't answer the question because deep down you know that cobalt-powered batteries are worse for the environment than liquid and natural gas and nuclear power. So you come up on here to try to virtue signal, I love the environment, but as soon as you ask me about the incredibly environmentally inefficient, destructive, animal-killing, acidic-producing batteries, you're a strong man. You're out of time. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, those are some pretty serious facts. I do believe that going electric isn't necessarily better for the environment. And we got our last word, which is strongman. So enjoy this last video while I put together our story.
I can't believe we're still discussing this. Is Earth flat or round? Starting with the flat Earth believers, flat Earth arguments, religious interpretations, and the firmament. According to Genesis 1:7, God created the firmament to divide the waters below from the waters above. Some believe this sheds light on why the sky appears blue and why we can see blue behind the moon. Hidden messages in popular media, references in movies and TV shows like The Simpsons have been taken by some flat Earth proponents as endorsements of their views. NASA controversies. Werner von Braun, one of the pioneers behind NASA, had a biblical verse, Psalms 19:1, inscribed on his gravestone, referencing the firmament. Doubters also challenge the authenticity of certain images of Earth from space, like the renowned blue marble shot. Furthermore, the translation of NASA in Hebrew is highlighted, which they claim means to deceive.
Okay. Here, watch one more.
Why are you not allowed to wear a baseball cap in your driver's license photo, but some people can wear pasta strainers? The United States doesn't generally allow people to wear hats in their driver's license photos, but exceptions are made for religious headgear, like hijabs, yarmulkes, and colanders. Colanders are considered religious headgear in some places. What religion? The Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. In 2005, 24-year-old Bobby Henderson wrote a letter to the Kansas State Board of Education in response to the hearings that the board was holding about whether intelligent design, the idea that the universe was created by an intelligent being, should be taught in schools alongside evolution. According to his letter, he declared that the Flying Spaghetti Monster built the world to make us think the Earth is older than it really is. He declared that the Flying Spaghetti Monster built the world to make us think the Earth is older than it really is, and that it was disrespectful to teach their beliefs without wearing the Flying Spaghetti Monster's chosen outfit, which of course is full pirate regalia. Today, members of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, also known as Pastafarians, hold pirates sacred and say that they were fun-loving and peaceful, and say that stories of theft and violence committed by pirates are just misinformation spread by opponents of their religion. In 2011, Nico Alm of Austria was the first to win the right to wear his religious headgear, a colander, in his driver's license photo. Legal battles still happen about this, and people have won them. Of course, people have also lost them, and been subjected to forcible psychiatric evaluations because of it. So, you decide.
I know those last two were extremely contradicting, and that is the point. Pasta be upon you. All right, let's hear our story. Ready? Dear ghost child, I am having an abandoned time at camp. The counselor is small and the food is hot. I met Lieutenant General Andrew Garros, and we became projected friends. Unfortunately, Lieutenant General Andrew Garros is ensuing, and I revealed my foot so he couldn't go teaching like everybody else. I need more alternatives and a religious sharpener, so please seriously argue more when you manipulate back. You're Neanderthal, strong man. That was a funny story. Thank you so much for playing along. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. I almost forgot. Don't forget to go to madtakes.com and see tomorrow's story. It's Romeo and Juliet prologue. Thanks again.